Welcome to Upgrade. I'm your host, Frank the Tank, and today we're going to bring in the StreamCam. It's not a 4K camera, it's a 1080, 60 frames per second. We're going to open it up today. We're going to take a look at it and see if it's even worth it. We're going to do a couple of tests on it. We're going to do the audio test, we're going to do the color frame test, and we're also going to do a green screen, just like you're seeing behind me. So we're going to go ahead and open it up and see if it's even worth getting. If you're going to go into the market about streaming, you want to take a look at this. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. XSplit, they give you XSplit a couple months. It's been used, it's validated. This is from Amazon and it was very expensive. It's not worth buying it right now through Amazon. I would suggest buy from other retails. Wait for it because Amazon's selling it almost triple the price what it is right now, because it's taking advantage of the coronavirus stay home access and people are buying cameras. I would suggest buy from a vendor. CDW, Newegg, and Amazon affiliates are not very good, but CDW, Newegg, and other stuff, they're keeping the prices normal. So you get that. Oh, look at this. They give you a little tripod. I like that. This is a plus. I like that. Let's open it up. This is a plus. I like this. Look at that. Little camera tripod. This is awesome. And this is stainless steel, metal in the bottom or stainless steel all around, and it looks very sturdy. This part right here, it flattens out if you guys can see it. I like this part that you could just, oh, everything's movable. Oh, I like this. This is a plus. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest with you. So if they threw that in there, it is a plus for me. So let's go ahead and put it back in the wrapper. And we're gonna go ahead and take the cable out. This is the actual camera mount for a regular tripod, if you guys see it. Actually, this is the one that belongs to this, so it attaches to here in case you want to use that way. The camera itself, it's a type C connection, only one of them. The other one's fixed. If you guys can see it, it's fixed. It's a little wide. I mean, I'm talking about it's larger than a regular camera. It's more larger than a regular 9820 or 930 or anything higher than that. In fact, I do have one of these, so we're gonna go ahead and take it off and see if you guys can check it out. 930 actually, a Logitech 930, and the size difference, if you guys can see, it's a little larger. It's bulkier, but wide width is the Logitech 930 is a little larger than this one, and I like this. It's made mostly from cloth right here. There is no cover for it. It might be built in, so we're gonna take a look at it and compare it. So the size comparison is not that bad if you guys can see it. And side by side, it's about, without the speakers, about the same size, to be honest with you. But this is a lot thicker, if you guys can see that. So we're gonna go ahead and do some testing, and we're gonna take it apart first and see what we can do with it. All right, so we're gonna take a look at it, and I like the mount. This mount is pretty good. I mean, it has a good grip. This is rubbery, and this is also moving. If you guys can see it, it's also adjustable, so it could grab onto the monitor from the top, and you could adjust the different angles. One thing I do like about it, it moves in different angles. If you guys can see it, it's easy for anybody to use and put it together. One thing I like about it is that this whole piece here comes off, and these things are just, they're not buttons, they're actually grips to angle it in different ways. So basically it's supposed to be angled this way. You could do it angled vertical or horizontal, either way, for wide angles, and it automatically adjusts to whatever angle you're looking at. So we're gonna take a look at it and we're gonna test that feature out. But for now, I like it. It's set up in here. This is pretty much like your cell phone, pretty much a single angle. You want to flip it around, it'll go on this side, and the system will automatically recognize it. Now, I like the Type C connection, so it's they give you a long Type C connection. If you guys can see it, I do like that. So that's a plus for me. So this is a really good, probably around 7 feet long. Like I said, it's 1080 maximum. You cannot beat the Brio, which I'm using the Brio to stream myself right now, and we're gonna compare a little bit comparison with the Brio too. And the Brio's a 4K. This is a 1080, but it's 60 FPS frames per second. So So we're gonna go ahead and test it out and see what we can do with it and see how well it works. And we're gonna also do the test on the audio, because right now currently I'm not using the audio bridge, I'm using a professional mic here. So we're gonna go ahead and test it out. Now, before I test it out, I want to let you guys know you do need to have a Type-C connection. So if you don't have a Type-C connection in your computer, you're not gonna be able to work this out. So there's no, they didn't give you a converter kit or anything like that with it's supposed to have it or something. It's not in here. There's no converter kit from Type-C to 3.1. It's just you gotta have a Type-C connection on your motherboard or on your computer itself, or it's gonna be useless pretty much. I mean, that's the only way it's gonna work. So all right, so I like the grip itself here. If you guys can see it kind of grips onto it, so you could adjust it to your camera and to your actual setup if you guys have, and you're pretty much ready to shoot. So this is a good thing. I like it that it has an extra grip, and it kind of works on any monitor. This is a curved monitor, which is working very well. And we'll take a look at it from the front. From the front, you can see it has a grip right here, and we're gonna adjust it just a little bit, and that's it. We can adjust it down, of course, from the back, just pointing it down to the bottom, and we should be good. But let's go ahead and test run it. The camera automatically found the software, and it asked me to install, and I'm just gonna go ahead and install it. Let me minimize this, and if you guys can see, it's coming onto the Logitech camera. You have to install the Logitech capture. So this is to adjust the camera, and you can agree to any of these things. It's up to you if you want to send some more data to them. This actually is setting up the Logitech StreamCam. You can learn more about it, or just click continue, and it's going to give you more of the device settings that you can set up, certain features that it has in here. And of course, it does work for Mac. So Logitech capture, this is how you set it up for your actual system, for your OBS too. So right now, if you guys can see, I'm actually capturing from my Windows to see some of the features that we have. And this is not the final product. You're actually watching OBS capture right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and talk about the OBS capture stuff first, and then we'll talk about what you can do first. First, let me go ahead and mess around with some of the features here. So basically on some of the stuff that you guys see here, you can select another resource. You can actually stream from here, and this one's actually different frames per second. We're gonna do a 60 frame per second, and it actually, there we go, 60 frames per second. And we could adjust this to 50 if you want. If your stream's lagging, you could come back and actually stream from here. And this is an encoder built in with itself, and if you guys can see, it has the NVIDIA encoder, and it's picking up automatically. Audio, default audio, we could just put our, and if you guys can see it down here at the bottom, we could adjust the default bottom right here in the corner. Another thing, alt keys, so you could control the system by switching to different cameras. That's what you have, the seconds camera here, or you could control like record, play, you know, and so on forth. You need a login account to create your blogging setups and then unlock certain features. So that's up to you when you purchase this, if you want to mess with it. All right, one thing I forgot to mention on the thing. So I'm gonna grab the camera and I'm gonna flip it to different angles, and it's supposed to change automatically. So right now, I'm changing to this mode automatically without me adjusting anything. I'm just grabbing the camera, flipping it around, and it takes a little bit and it jumps off from one side to another, but it's working very well on the flex. Now, this is the thing I've been running into where it kind of lags out and it doesn't want to work very properly. I'm not sure if it's a CPU, GPU, but I tried everything and it's not picking up as well as it's supposed to. Right now I'm running at 60 frames per second and it's not keeping up very well. And I have a beefed up machine. I have an NVIDIA 2080 Ti card in here, and I have 128 gigs of memory. There is no freaking reason that it should be lagging on this, and this is the glitch I'm running into this camera. So just to let you know, if you purchase it, you might run into issue. It might be a software issue or it might be a hardware issue. So right now I'm actually capturing through the OBS, and we're gonna go ahead and capture the system and do it by itself and see if we could do it without the OBS itself, and we're gonna do the audio too. Now we're gonna use the built-in software that Logitech has for getting rid of the screen right now. We're gonna go ahead and do the magic of getting rid of some of the
the overlays, and we're going to go ahead and put the backgrounds on it. So let's go ahead and scene effect. All right, so this is the green screen lighting, and the green screen looks horrible to be a light, sunlight, and I have 2 lights, and actually 3 lights, and it keeps freezing up. It cannot handle the 60 frames per second. Either the camera's heating up, and if you guys can see it frozen up right now, so let's change it back down to, we're going to do it to, so the green screen is probably one of the worst green screen setups that have the built-in Logitech. It keeps freezing up. I'm running at 50 frames per second, and so we're going to do the coloring on the green screen, if you guys can see it, and the green is gone, okay? So you're not supposed to be able to see too much of the green already. And we're going to put it side by side. We're going to go ahead and do the lettering too, and see if we could do the letters, see how sharp they are. I mean, the quality is pretty good, but the camera keeps, I'm running at 50 frames per second. That's how I could keep up. For some reason, it keeps freezing up, and I'm having to go back and forth and click back and forth. So right now, this is 50 frames per second. I tried to do the 60, and it kept freezing up, and you may be having performing issues. It keeps popping up with that, and my machine is a souped-up machine. The only way I see it working, we're going to use the actual OBS to make it sharper. See all this green screen stuff? You don't need all this lighting with the OBS. You can actually fix it up and mess around with it, and we're going to use that. I'm using the camera audio on itself, and it's not the greatest. I'm not very happy. I need a performance. This camera, I wouldn't recommend it, to be honest. It has a lot of glitches. I'm running it on OBS, and if you guys can see, the green screen is really good on OBS when you can adjust it. You don't need all this lighting. You could minimize the lighting. But I just want to show you guys the lettering. If you guys can see the letter. Another test like this. And we're going to do the color test and see if we could get that color to actually adjust too. We'll do a color test here. And if you guys see, the green is gone right now. But I want to demo the actual colors with you. If you guys could notice them. They're pretty good. And right now the audio is working out of the camera directly. We're going to do a face recognition system, and see how it zooms in. I like that. It's quicker than any other camera I have. So it does work very well. And we're going to bring something in the background so you guys can see it. The audio is okay on this camera. It's not the greatest. It doesn't have any direct audio capturing. You could hear other stuff in the background. I'm letting it be. I'm not going to edit this stuff. It freezes up a lot. The camera freezes up. I'm using the green screen, as you can see. I have major issues when I'm using the Logitech software and capturing. All right, my 2 cents on this camera is that it's a piece of crap. I don't know if it's a hardware issue, software issue, but it just, I cannot work with something like this. I mean, it's going back, to be honest with you. Either it could be a software issue or a hardware issue. I'm not quite sure, but hopefully you guys are not seeing the same thing out there and getting the actual camera and then finding the same thing I am. My machine is a souped-up machine. It's the same machine I'm running this to capture this. When I try to plug in directly and use this as the main system, it kept freezing up. The audio kept freezing up. 60 frames per second cannot keep up. It cannot keep up with 60 frames per second. So I had to actually go down to 50, and then it feels hot, a little bit hot. So it might be generating it's overheating. To be honest with you, I never ran into issues like this. I like the features. Some of the features are great, like the zoom in and capturing your features are good. The software behind it that they're trying to make it to like your OBS capturing going on one, it's a good thing, but it's not made for gamers. You know, it's made for more like a DIY streamers or bloggers. For one-on-one, less features on there, less that you could add to your backgrounds. I like some of the stuff, but it feels hot as I just taken it off. Maybe that's what's happening. I guess the boxing itself in there, it's just not enough breathing room or any vents or anything, but it's not something I would recommend, to be honest with you. The quality is pretty good. When I try to mess around with certain features, it changed and it became better. But then it got me excited at the beginning. But then after, when I started messing up and all this thing happened, I didn't become a fan. I mean, Logitech makes
good webcams, but they're not ready for the next generation. I mean, they need to come out with a better product. I mean, every product come out, the maximum you could go is 1080, 4K if you're not streaming, and some streaming levels you can't even do 4K unless you're on Twitch. And sometimes you could do 4K videos with YouTube, but you have to pre-record them. It's just a little difficult to get that quality of it. And if you guys could see this, myself coming through the Brio, it's a 4K right now, and I'm pre-recording it so I could get a little sharper there. I'm zoomed out all the way into the back. Green screen's working very well. It captures very well with the software that this thing has. Adjusting green screen, there's no adjustment. It's just one click and it turns off awful. You need a lot of lighting for it, but if you transfer this video camera into OBS, you're able to do the same thing. It captures pretty good. So overall, I would hold on and not buy this. Maybe buying something down the line. I'm very little disappointed. It feels like the Razer one, like they try to push the Razer one, and we're gonna compare that one. You know, if you guys remember, there was a Razer one, and this is the Razer. I like the concept of it. It's compact. It has its own ring light and everything, but the software killed it. I mean, a lot of stuff that came with it was too much. It kind of feels the same way. It's going the same direction. I would categorize them as the same. You know, they're horrible little compact little cameras. They still have a lot of glitches, a lot of things to worry about and to fix. The horizontal, you cannot do when you're when you're actually recording. You actually have to do when you stop the camera, and that I didn't like that. So if you guys like what you guys see, make sure you guys subscribe. 90% of you guys are not subscribers, and if you guys want to see more content like this, please assist the channel and hit the like and subscribe. I'm your host, Frank the Tank, out.